Write a note on how Mathew Arnold advocates simplicity of style in his preface to poems. Or comment on how Mathew Arnold compares Shakespeare with the ancient masters. Whom does he project as the safest model for his contemporary poets and why? Marks 10-12. Answer: Mathew Arnold, 1822–1888, who has established himself as a great Victorian critic through his preface to Poems, 1853, discusses various aspects of poetry in minute details. One such topic of discussion is simplicity of style, which is commonly seen in the writings of the ancient masters. Arnold gives us a picture of what was in Shakespeare and the ancients, where he is greater than them, and where they supersede him. Arnold opines that Shakespeare has not the severe and scrupulous self-restraint of the ancients, because he had a far less cultivated and exacting audience. He has indeed a far wider range than they had, a far richer fertility of thought. In this respect, he rises above them. In his strong conception of his subject, in the genuine way in which he is penetrated with it, he resembles them, and is unlike the moderns. But in the accurate limitation of it, the conscientious rejection of superfluities, the simple and rigorous development of it from the first line of his work to the last, he falls below them, and comes nearer to the moderns. With some shades here and there, Shakespeare still makes a genius. His capacities sometimes bring him close to his age, some of his talents place him far above his age, and he may be equated with the ancient masters of the celebrated age. Then, Arnold points out what is lacking in his celebrated works in spite of his merits. He is endowed naturally with the gift of poetry, furthermore he possesses the basic soundness of the ancients, he has their important action and their large and broader manner. But he has not their purity of method. In this respect, Arnold believes that Shakespeare cannot be a safe example to follow. He is a man of rich and beautiful language, a gift that people rarely have, but what he has as an inherent skill, cannot be copied by others as an art. Nevertheless, the clarity of arrangement, rigor of development and simplicity of style may certainly be imbibed. What Shakespeare possesses as an artist is richly possessed by the poets of ancient Greece. Besides, they have a lot else which makes them masters of elevated style and art. Therefore, the ancient poets should be followed over Shakespeare. Arnold opines that the ancient masters instruct and Shakespeare only suggests. This is the greatest difference between the two types of poets. In his fine argument, Arnold proves what is lacking in the art of Shakespeare and where he fails to serve as a pattern of the best to his followers. Arnold says the modern have only some pleasing qualities of lyricism and expression of beauty. The ancient do not have these lyrical gifts as rich as them, but they are great in their building up and execution of an action of permanent importance. It is true that they have limitations of a range of subjects, but still it is enough to keep us engaged in every age. Arnold gives an example of an action used by Sophocles in his tragedy Antigone, which depicts a woman sadly torn between the responsibilities which she has towards her brother's corpse and the laws of her country. It may be that such an action and conflict is of no interest to the modern reader. But that does not mar its richness of source. Arnold says a modern writer may certainly learn from the ancients three things which are vitally important for them to know. 1. The all-importance of the choice of a subject. 2. The necessity of accurate construction, and 3. The subordinate character of expression. Defining the reason why the ancients are always superior. Arnold says that they will always administer the best pieces of art not because they have high mental power and they feed our senses with noble designs, but because they instruct and teach. They have greater moral value. For this potential, the ancients reign above everyone, not to mention Shakespeare and the modern writers. Finished. Please subscribe to the channel for more updates of ready-made notes on English literature. Also, please share this channel to help any student pursue a degree in English literature.